Hi from Los Angeles.
Hi from Spain.
Hi from Israel.
Hi from Israel.
So we decided to introduce the topic of surveillance to our students through this unit, which you will see. And we decided to do so because technology and surveillance as well is prevalent in their everyday lives. Most of our students have access to technology and use technology every day from their phones, computers, going on the public transportation, etc. But they're also not always aware of the various implications of technological use, whether positive or negative. So that is why we decided to introduce this topic for our unit.
So the lessons that we created were for 10th, 11th grade 5-point bag root students. We created four 45-minute classes, and we kind of carefully scaffolded and organized these classes so that the students would be able to, by the end, form their own opinion. We started with lesson 1 with presenting this information to our students and making it personal. In the second lesson, we had our students work together to support an opinion that has been given to them. In lesson 3, the students are exposed to a fellow teacher giving or expressing an opinion. And then in the fourth lesson is when production happens and the students are actually asked to create their own opinion and record their own opinion.
Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit about the goals and the objectives of the lessons of this unit. The main goal is for the students to be able to express their opinion about the surveillance in a debate setting. And students will have to use relevant vocabulary for it. They'll have to use, they have to research the topic, and they'll have to use technology, obviously, for learning and for practicing and also for presenting their opinion. So these are the main objectives of this class, this unit.
And we had a lot of fun. I think I can speak for the group in saying that in planning this, we worked together. We planned in person 4 times together, and then we did 3 Zoom calls, including this one, because then we were all in different locations or countries or continents, and we're able to plan the final stages through Zoom. Yeah. I thought there was something else.
Great.
Okay, so our first lesson. We start out with a warm-up to get the kids interested in the topic. And as homework, we assign them to take a picture of themselves using a funny or fun filter with Snapchat, Instagram, or some other social media kind of app. And then we have them submit that to a Google Classroom or Moodle. And then we make a collage of the students' photos that they've submitted so that when they arrive in class that day, they will see something like this. So we went and did ourselves to give an example. So after looking at the collage of photos, we would start talking about facial recognition and talk about the technology that was used for these photos. Then the second part of the lesson would be vocabulary, and they're going to have a listening activity after this, so we're pre-teaching the vocabulary, and they get the new words written on the board, and then they're able to work with partners to write the words down in their notebooks and find the Hebrew translation, and they can do that with a partner. They can use their phones to find the translation as well. And once they've had time to do that, then the Quizlet matching game will be put on the board, and they will use that to match the definitions the English definitions with the words. So here's an example. So for example, crime.
And
There we go.
law.
Yeah. Okay, and then for the listening activity, we're gonna do a breaking news English article, but we're gonna do it for the listening portion. And we have chosen to have them listen to it as a class on medium speed with a North American accent. And so they will listen to that one time as a class.
San Francisco bans facial recognition software. This is breakingnewsenglish.com.
All right. And then individually, they're going to have a Wiser worksheet that they will complete. And so they will be using headphones, and they'll be able to choose what speed they want and what accent they want, and they'll be able to listen to it a couple of times. And then on the Wiser worksheet, as they're listening, they're going to fill in the vocabulary words as they listen. So here's an example. San Francisco has become the something city in the USA to ban first city in the USA to ban facial recognition software.
Good.
Yeah, next. Okay, and then and on this with the Wiser worksheet, it allows for some differentiation because they can listen to it at different speeds. And then for homework, they're going to have the Big Brother article, and it's been transferred into the perusal tool, and their homework will be to read the article and to annotate it. So here we have the article, and Kelsey did a sample annotation for us. And so this will automatically group them into the groups before they do the homework. And so then the next lesson will be to work on the debate preparation. Since now they've been exposed to facial recognition and the software and the technology, and then we'll move into the next lesson.
Okay, great. So the second lesson of this unit is going to start up with a bit of a review of the last lesson and the homework, and also a warm-up. So the class is going to begin with just a few minutes for the students to share their thoughts, questions, concerns maybe that they have about the article that they read, and potentially facial recognition in general. And then after that, we're going to discuss the concept of Big Brother. And in doing so, we really want to check to make sure that the students understand the term Big Brother, and I guess steer the focus away from the show, the Israeli show Big Brother. We want to make sure that instead of the students talking about the reality TV show and what happened last night, they're talking about Big Brother, government surveillance, the idea of them being watched, things like that. After that, we're going to move on to the next activity, which is a YouTube video to generate the discussion of this topic for the day. We'll listen to a little bit of it. So students are going to listen to this in class, and after they finish, there's going to be a Google Doc that's going to be projected on the whiteboard. And on that Google Doc, we have already screenshot some of the comments from that video. And the reason that we decided to screenshot some comments is, first of all, to make sure that they are age appropriate. And second of all, we wanted the students to see various opinions of facial recognition and surveillance in general. So, there are some comments that are for it, some comments that are against it, some that have very strong opinions on either. And then what the students are asked to do, they are going to individually be prompted with the question, what did you find interesting, surprising, or valid? Does the commenter have the same or different opinion as you? So just kind of writing a reflection about the video and what they feel in reaction to it. So we're then going to segue into the debate, and students are going to be asked how they would feel if there was facial recognition on campus to monitor them today, either from the administration, their parents could monitor them, or the teachers. So how they would feel if the adults in their lives could see what they were doing at any moment of the day, who they were talking to, what they were eating, where they were sitting, things like that. And then in addition, after we start talking about that, we're going to have a table on the board with just the labels positives and negatives. And the students are going to work together as a class to come up with positive uses of this type of technology as well as negative. And then after that, that's when we're going to really focus on the debate preparation. And the class has been working on debates all year, so they already are familiar with the rules and the procedures and kind of how the logistics of this goes. But the students, also the debate will be covering two topics: surveillance in schools and surveillance on public transportation or airports. And we decided to choose these topics because they are relevant to our students, and we definitely think that's important to keep the lessons relevant to their everyday lives. And we are going to divide the students into 4 groups with 5 students in each group. The teachers will decide the groups before class to ensure that the groups have different levels, and of course that the students are working with others in the class. And after the groups have been, after the students have been given their groups, we're going to decide which topic they're going to be using by We'll Decide. So as you can see, there's schools, so either for or against schools, and public transportation, either for or against facial recognition on public transportation and airports. Great. So once each group has their topic, they're going to be given a Google Doc. And on that Google Doc, they're going to need to write down which student is responsible for which section. So we have the introduction, the main point 1, main point 2, rebuttal, and summary. So each student will have to write their name, and we also give them a place to write the statements that they're going to discuss during the debate and also their references. And for the remainder of class, the students are going to have time to research their topics, to start working on the different statements they want to make, and they're instructed to continue this research for homework. And we are also encouraging them to use the various conferencing tools like Zoom, Skype, etc., or to meet together if they can, to research the debate and really make it flow and have a good debate overall. So that is lesson 2.
Okay, so for lesson 3, for part of the lesson, students will be continuing with debate preparation, but we decided to include a fun warm-up activity, an escape room. We were partly inspired by an activity we did in our technology class, but we also just wanted to give the students kind of a break from the debate preparation and to keep them engaged and excited about learning. So to begin with, we decided to entitle this activity Escape from Big Brother or Escape from Surveillance. So the students would receive a text message in the class WhatsApp group that would say, "Can you keep a secret? Big Brother is watching." A message hidden from Big Brother is posted in the classroom. Find a way to read the message for instructions on how to escape from surveillance. Work together in groups of 3 or 4. So this is basically just the instructions, but it would be delivered to them in a fun way, not just the teacher explaining everything to them. Okay, so, okay. Um, so posted in the classroom, there would be a red lens message. There would be red lens readers scattered throughout the classroom, but the students would have to figure out themselves how to read the message with the red lens readers. And the message is loading, but it would say, find the nearest surveillance camera. Attached is the next clue. Be careful. Big Brother is watching you. Just one moment as it loads. There we go. So the message, this would be printed out on a piece of paper, but the message is here, hidden, and they need to use the red lens reader. So after they read the message, then the students would find the nearest surveillance camera to the classroom, and attached to the surveillance camera would be a QR code here, again, printed out. And the idea of attaching this message to the surveillance camera is just to make students aware of how close surveillance is to them and how where it is within the school and how close it is to their daily lives. So this QR code here leads to a Flipgrid assignment. So let's give that a moment to open. Okay. And as you can see, here's the Flipgrid assignment, escape from surveillance. So it says, now you know where Big Brother is watching you. The only safe place is the teacher's lounge. Go there and ask a teacher or staff member their opinion on public surveillance. Record a 1 to 2 minute video of the answer. Don't worry, Flipgrid is safe from Big Brother, ... for now. So the students would then go to the teacher's lounge, and the idea or the rationale for this is that the students would be exposed to teachers giving their opinions. We as their teachers would talk to the off-duty teachers and staff members ahead of time, make sure they would answer in English and be prepared for these students coming and talking to them and interviewing them. So after they complete the Flipgrid assignment, the teachers would then hand the students another red lens, printed out red lens message here. And this message would say, go back to class. There is no escape, Big Brother. So that would lead to the end of the activity. Hopefully the students would really enjoy it. And then the rest of class, so the next 25 to 30 minutes would be devoted to continued debate preparation. For homework, we would want those students to finish their debate preparation in class. And then for homework, they would have another assignment. This is a Padlet assignment. And this is called Surveillance is All Around You. The students need to take a photo of surveillance around their neighborhood, upload it, and write the address as well as explain its purpose. So the idea of this is, again, so that students are aware of sort of the fact that surveillance is everywhere and all around them. But also we want them to explain its purpose in English so that they can see that surveillance isn't always bad. A lot of times the surveillance that they're going to see that's out in the open, the purpose is to keep a shop safe or to safeguard against speeding. And these are actually positive things. So we want to make sure that students are aware of both sides of the coin, of the surveillance coin, if you will. And then on to lesson 4.
Okay, so lesson 4 is about the production. In this class, students will do the actual debate. First, they'll have to review the debate rules. Even though they're familiar with debates, they've done it before, they still have to review the rules. So we'll use a Kahoot game for the students. And we embedded a few questions. Yeah, so students will have to use a code in order to participate in the game. So 1 minute, it's coming up. And there are different questions connected to debate rules, like how many minutes each part should take, and different questions like that. Yeah, so we're in, and the first question is coming up, which is how many minutes do the pro and con group have to present? And the answer is the blue, which is 2 minutes, and the students on their cell phones, or if they have computers, they can get the right questions or the wrong questions, whatever, just a review, so they're supposed to know the answers. Okay, then after the Kahoot game, so after the Kahoot game, we're using Will Decide, which will decide which topic will go first. We used it before, we're using it again because we think it's very effective, the Will Decide, and it's fun for students to see who goes first. They'll never argue with the wheel. So whatever topic comes up on the wheel, wherever it lands on, this is the topic that will start. Whether it's for or against, it will always be the for which starts. So in this case, it's airports and public transportation that will start first. Pro transportation and airports that will start first. And they have 2 minutes for each part to present their debate. In the meantime, while students, the audience who are watching and who are not actually participating in the debate, they will be given a handout in order to increase participation in class, increase engagement. And they'll have to answer, like simply just circle what they think is relevant, whether the group was presenting well or not so well, whether they were clear or not, the summary was clear, each group member spoke or not, and then this part will help them to afterward decide which group wins, because they'll have to, at the end, they'll have to decide which one wins, and this will just give them like, it will remind them of how each group presented. Okay, so after that, after both groups presented and did the debate, conducted the debate, then students will be asked to go into Google Forms and to answer one question: who won the debate, who they think was most convincing. And we decided to use this tool of Google Form because of various reasons. First of all, it's like very easy to prepare. It's anonymous, it's fun for the students, and also it's very, very easy to calculate because the computer does the calculation. So it's very easy for the teacher. They don't have to start counting how many students voted whatever they voted. So it's just like very practical and easy to prepare, easy to use, fun for the students, and it's technological. So that's why we decided to use it. And that's it. I mean, then afterwards, now students are actually ready to go home and use Flipgrid to actually present their own opinion of surveillance and facial recognition. And they have enough vocabulary to use, they have listened to different opinions, and they have researched the topic well enough and comprehensively enough so they can now express their own opinion in English, of course. And in the next class, the different Flipgrid assignments will be presented in class and discussed with the students. And also the winner of the game, of the debate, will be also revealed. And that's it. That's the end of our unit. We think that I think that it was a lot of fun working with four of us. We were very productive. We work in different places, and we also met, like in Israel. And I think it was we learned a lot about technological tools. We used a lot technological tools for our lessons, and also while we were meeting, we used it a lot, and we saw how effective it is and how fun it is to use, and how practical it is for our discussion of this unit.
Yeah, and I think that being able to lesson plan and like thinking through the technology that we're going to use, we were really able to figure out how to use technology to enhance learning, to engage our students, and to expand our students' knowledge beyond just the classroom. And I think sort of following the triple E theory in implementing our lesson plan and devising it really, really helped us to understand how we wanted to use technology in our future classrooms. And
Okay,
So that's it.
that's it. Thank you very much.
thanks.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.